Sweetness arrived at her auntie's house just as the sun was setting. The cold stayed outside, but inside the house was warm. Familiar voices, soft laughter, the smell of food from the kitchen. For a moment it felt like home. Her auntie introduced her to everyone. Faces filled with curiosity, kindness, and quiet pride. "This is where you'll stay," her auntie said, opening the door to a small room. It wasn't big, it wasn't perfect, but it was hers. Sweetness sat on the bed, suitcase still unopened, taking it all in. She had crossed oceans, left everything she knew, and somehow she had found family again. Little did Sweetness know, this was only the calm before everything changed. Ethan wasn't just anyone. He was deliberate, calculated, powerful. Not the kind of power that comes with fame or fortune, but influence, connections, knowledge. The kind that lets you see things no one else notices. He had grown up moving through cities, always observing, always learning. People didn't think he was paying attention, but he always was. Ethan worked behind the scenes, a fixer, a strategist, someone who could make things happen quietly. Jobs that required patience, secrecy, and an unshakable calm. He wasn't cruel, not intentionally, but he understood leverage and timing. He watched people because the world was full of patterns, small choices, habits, routines. They told him everything he needed to know. And when Sweetness arrived, he noticed the pattern that didn't fit. A new energy in the city, a rhythm that wasn't like the rest. She was different. Different enough to draw his attention. Different enough to make him pause. Different enough to matter. He didn't know her story. He didn't know her past. But he knew this. Some people enter your life, and the timing isn't random. Ethan Cole had watched a lot of people, but he had never watched anyone like her. The first morning in her new city felt strange. The sun rose cold and bright, lighting streets she had only seen in pictures. She wrapped herself in her coat, picked up her bag, and stepped outside. Everything was bigger, faster, louder. Strangers brushed past her on the sidewalks. Cars honked, buses rattled. The smell of coffee, exhaust, and fresh bread mingled in the crisp air. She walked carefully, holding her bag close but smiling to herself. This was real. She had crossed oceans. She had left everything she knew. Her auntie had given her a small map and some tips. Stick to the main streets today, learn your way slowly, and remember, stay aware. Sweetness nodded. She didn't know why exactly, but she felt the words meant more than she realized. By late morning, hunger and curiosity led her to a small, cozy cafe. The scent of fresh coffee and baked bread wrapped around her like a hug. She hesitated at the counter, then spoke. I'm looking for work. Can I help here?" The barista raised an eyebrow, surprised but kind. "We don't usually hire right away, but you seem eager. Come back tomorrow morning. If you're ready, we'll see what you can do." Sweetness nodded, heart pounding, but she smiled anyway. Tomorrow she would try. Tomorrow she would prove she belonged. She spent the rest of the day walking the streets, taking note of shops, signs, and corners. Every person she saw, every street she passed, added to her mental map. The city was big, but not impossible. She could do this. The next morning she returned to the cafe. She scrubbed tables, brewed coffee, served customers with a nervous energy that slowly became confidence. By midday, the manager smiled. "You've got the job," he said. "Welcome to the team." Sweetness couldn't stop smiling. It was small. It was ordinary. But it was hers. Somewhere unnoticed, someone watched. Not to scare her, not to follow her too closely. Just observing, making notes, learning her rhythm. Sweetness didn't know it yet, but her life was slowly intertwining with someone else's.